New York City, 7:15 p.m., Friday night. Rain slid down the streets in narrow sheets, reflecting the electric glow of gallery lights and taxi beams. Inside the sleek, glass-paneled building known as Galerie Lucienne, art critics, collectors, and socialites sipped champagne and swirled opinions like wine. Tonight's event was the talk of the city. The Rise of Lenoir, an exclusive exhibit by a mysterious painter whose work had captivated the New York art scene. Only one thing was known. Lenoir had never shown her face. At the gallery's front entrance, a woman stood quietly under a small, tattered umbrella. Her coat was soaked. She wore faded jeans, old sneakers, and carried a cloth tote bag that looked out of place in such a glamorous crowd. Her name was Eva Monroe. She was 34 years old, calm, observant, and utterly unremarkable, at least to anyone who judged by appearances. Eva wasn't here as a guest. She wasn't on the list. And the security guard made that crystal clear. "Ma'am," he said, glancing at her from head to toe. "This is a private event. Invite only. You can't just walk in." Eva offered a soft smile. "I understand. Could you just tell the gallery manager, Amelia, that Eva's here?" The guard raised an eyebrow. "Amelia's running the whole event. You think she's gonna stop the show for?" He hesitated. "Look, there are people in designer gowns being held at the door. I suggest you go." "I promise I won't take long," Eva said gently. No invitation. No entry," he snapped. As Eva stepped back, her hand tightened around the tote. Inside it was a small portfolio, her own old sketches. She had no intention of revealing them tonight. But they were a piece of her, just like every canvas hanging inside that building. 2 years ago, Eva had been nobody in the art world. A cafe waitress in Brooklyn who painted on her kitchen floor at night. After years of rejection and unnoticed submissions, Eva made a quiet decision. She would submit her work under a pseudonym. Not Eva Monroe, but Lenoir, a name born from moonlight and solitude. With no face, no social media, and no bio, her work began to speak louder than her voice ever could. Galleries began to ask, "Who is Lenoir?" Critics wrote columns. "The raw honesty in Lenoir's brushwork is staggering. She paints pain like it's breathing." Sales rolled in. One piece sold for $80,000. Then another for $120,000. Eva had never seen the buyers. She never attended a show. The gallery manager, Amelia Graves, handled everything. Eva trusted Amelia. After all, they were once college friends. Roommates even. But lately, something had shifted. Amelia rarely returned her calls. Every email was cold and transactional. When Eva asked about attending this event, Amelia simply replied, "It's best for Lenoir's mystique if you remain anonymous. The illusion is part of the art. And Eva agreed at first. But now, standing in the rain, watching people drink wine and praise her soul without knowing her name, something ached deep inside. Was she really Lenoir anymore? Or had she just become a ghost in her own career? Inside the gallery, Amelia Graves laughed and clinked glasses with high-end buyers. Her sleek black dress, designer heels, and slicked back hair gave her the perfect art world edge. A well-known critic approached her. "Amelia, darling. This Lenoir. You've discovered gold." Amelia smiled smoothly. "Thank you. We were lucky to recognize her brilliance early." Another guest asked, "Is she here tonight?" Amelia laughed lightly. "Lenoir? She prefers to stay distant. Mystery suits her, don't you think?" No one noticed that just outside the glass walls, the real Lenoir was standing in the rain, completely invisible. Unable to walk away, Eva circled to the side of the gallery where one of her large paintings was on display. A piece titled Silence After Rain. It showed a woman staring out a rain-soaked window, alone but not broken. 2 young art students stood beside it, whispering. "This is my favorite," one said. "It feels like she's waiting for something." Eva smiled faintly. They understood. Suddenly, the side door cracked open. A janitor came out, pulling a trash bin. He glanced at her curiously. "You okay, miss?" Eva nodded. "I'm just here to see my work." He shrugged. "They don't usually let people in this way, but..." He looked at her soaked coat, the kindness in her eyes. "I won't tell if you won't." Inside, Eva moved silently between her own paintings, each one a fragment of her story. The gallery hummed with praise and empty admiration. No one saw her, until one man did. A retired art professor, Mr. Gilroy, studied her closely, then turned to a painting titled Winter's Memory. "I've seen you before," he said softly. "Brooklyn Workshop, 2017. You're Lenoir." His voice was quiet, but the silence that followed was deafening. Gasps, whispers, stares. Amelia rushed forward. "That's impossible," she said sharply. "She's not." Mr. Gilroy turned toward the crowd. "She is. I'd stake my career on it." A journalist raised her phone. "Miss, is this true? Are you Lenoir?" Eva stepped forward. "You praised my pain," Eva said calmly, "when you didn't even know my name." The room stilled. "I was invisible, and you applauded that. But I'm not hiding anymore." She pointed to a painting. Asterisk the hidden voice. Asterisk. "This was my scream. Tonight I give it a name. Eva Monroe. Lenoir. Both mine." Amelia tried to protest, but the crowd had already turned. Buyers looked betrayed. Critics scribbled faster. Cameras clicked. In that moment, Eva reclaimed more than her art. She reclaimed her identity. She walked out of the gallery not in shame, but in triumph. Outside, the rain had stopped. The streetlights reflected the world anew. For the first time, Eva Monroe walked in full view. No longer a ghost. No longer silent. But as the woman behind every painting, finally seen.